getting dangerous. Looking in the mirror, my origin and inspiration. Run amongst the wolves.
What's up? Y'all here with Jalil Hackett, and you watching The Elephant in the Room.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy Smitty the Elephant in the Room, and we here, man. First episode of Let's Talk About It. We got a special guest, man. You know, he's repping the DMV. For all y'all that don't know what the DMV is, it's a DC, Maryland Slim. For all my Maryland people, that's how they say it. And VA, Virginia. You know, he's 7-0, 6 knockouts. Some might call him a Mr. Trying to catch one, as he told me. Mr. I knock your ass out in a minute and a half. Less than that, actually, if you step in that ring with me. Mr. How you say it? You willing to die for it? I'm willing to kill you for it if you step in front of me. That's what he posted on the gram. So, you know, we're going to cut the small talk. Mr. Jalil Hackett. What's going on, big dog?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
It's good, man. So what's going on, man? How's it feeling, man? You getting ready, man? You just had 3 fights this year, man. What was it, January, April, and August?
Yes, sir, man. This has been one of my more active years as a pro. You know, I'm happy for it. Definitely gonna close this year out with a bang, fighting in December. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
You ready, man? You gotta be ready, man. You know, you got a reputation, man. You had a 15-round sparring match with Javante Tank Davis, man. How'd that go, man? Yeah, they say rumor has it y'all won 15 straight rounds sparring, man. And after that, he said, "Oh, I gotta get shorty with the money team, man." So, you know, what's your relationship like with Tank, and how did that sparring match come across? Like, how did that go? Y'all was just in the gym one day, and he popped up, and y'all was just like, "Let's go at it."
And me and Tank, really that whole Upton, Baltimore, that whole group, like, we always had a great relationship, even before the pros. Like, in the amateurs, there's been times where my dad wasn't able to go to tournaments, but, you know, either Coach Kenny or Coach Calvin was there. Those are Tank coaches that, you know, they was like, we got him, work my corner for the fights.
Right.
There's been times where, you know, we go up there for sparring, you know, get work. So it's like, it wasn't like we was unfamiliar with each other.
Okay.
As far as the 15 rounds, I was actually getting prepared for my pro debut. He was getting prepared to fight Mario Barrios. And, you know, he had wanted, you know, to get work, you know, with a taller orthodox guy, you know, because Barrios is tall, orthodox. I was like, all right, cool, we get rounds. And, you know, we were supposed to do, you know, I forget, I think we were supposed to do like 8. But it's 2 guys that are competitors, you know,
right.
Top-level guys. You know, I was trying to prepare myself to become a pro, getting ready for my pro debut. And he's preparing for, you know, a fight at 140, which wasn't his weight, but, you know, he's in there with a bigger guy. So, you know, we working, and, you know, one thing led to another, and we ended up doing 15 rounds. And after that work, Coach Calvin said, man, you done sparring for the rest of the camp. He told me, he was like, you don't need no more sparring. He said, you ready. He said, you more than ready. It's nobody. Him and Tank, it's like they both said the same thing. They were saying, like, it's nobody in the world that they're going to be able to find for your pro debut that's going to bring what Tank just brought to you for 15 rounds. And I was like, man, shit, I'm ready.
That's cool, man. Your amateur fight, you fought close to, like, what was it, 180 fights? You went like 149 and 19 or something like that?
Yeah, it was 100. It was 140 and 19.
Okay, 140 and 19. So you had about a cool 160 almost in the amateur.
Just under.
Okay. That's all right, man. Shout out Coach Calvin. Shout out the whole B-More staff. Did that whole relationship just come with Baltimore only being like an hour and some change away from D.C., or did that just come about y'all just happened to meet? Like, how did y'all meet? Like, your camp and them introduced you to Tank, or your father and Coach Calvin knew each other?
As far as, like, my relationship with Coach Calvin, Coach Kenny, and all them, it always existed because, you know, it's Baltimore. It's an hour away. At a lot of the amateur fights and amateur tournaments, like with the tournaments, you got the local, regional, nationals. They will end up at our regionals because they right there. So, like, we always see each other at the tournaments.
Right.
And we always travel to the tournaments when it came to going to nationals and stuff together. So that relationship was always existed. As far as on the professional side of things, me and Tank first got, like, together, so to speak, like, as far as seeing each other and working with each other and stuff like that, when he was getting ready for his homecoming fight against, what's the dude, Nunez.
The one he fought at the Capitol Center or something?
Nah, the one he fought what's that joint? Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore.
Yeah, Royal Farms. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he fought him, but while getting prepared for him, I first got familiar with, the money team. This is like 2019. And they was like, we're going to see if you what they say you are. We're going to send you to camp with Tank. And I was in camp with Tank that whole camp, like giving him like most of his work. And after that camp, he had vouched for me to Leonard and Floyd. Like, yeah, he tough. Like, y'all really got to pick this kid up before he goes somewhere else.
Okay. That's a big endorsement, too. Tank might be the biggest fighter out of the whole D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area, Baltimore included. So that was a big endorsement. So you had to be like that, man. How did that boost your confidence and your self-esteem up here? And Tank just vouching for you, going and them saying, no, y'all got to grab him before one of the other promotion teams grab him. How do you feel that fueled you?
It was a big boost to my confidence, and mentally, I was on cloud 9 because one of the best fighters in the world vouch for you. Say this, that, and the third. And people who know Tank, he don't vouch for nobody for real. So
yeah, I seen that in a couple interviews. Tank, like, if you with him, he with you and he got you. But
yeah,
if you not,
if y'all locked in, y'all locked in. But like, if it ain't that, then it's whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I was very appreciative of that. And I always, like, when I do interviews or talk in general about my career, I always thank him. I always thank Coach Kenny, Coach Calvin, because they put that word in for me and made it where, I was able to get on that platform and showcase my talent.
Right,
because there's a lot of talented guys that don't really get their chance, or they don't really catch their break until it's too late because they ain't got nobody to vouch for them. So I was just happy that I had somebody to vouch for me, and then I got a chance to get up on that stage and show, like, what they said was real.
Hey, well, we going to shout them out. Shout out Tank. Shout out Coach Calvin and Kenny, man. One of my favorite up-and-coming boxers that we got, just period, not just in the area. One of my favorite up-coming. Y'all helped them get on that stage. So, we're going to talk about it, man. Your first fight, you went pro. You talk about how your first fight lasted, 63 seconds, they say, man. You put Bull out with a right hook, man. How'd that feel, man, just going in there, stepping in? So, Tank already gave you the vouch, like, damn, I got it. Then you got your first pro fight, and you knocked him out in 60-something seconds. How'd that make you feel then?
It was surreal. The whole first fight thing was just crazy. I fought, for people who don't know, I fought on the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul card when they fought in Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins play. Most people, like, they make their little debut and stuff. It's cool. You could make it on a small card, be chill. Like, that joint was at a stadium.
Yeah.
Most boxing matches are at arenas.
Right.
And, of course, arenas are much smaller than stadiums. So for me to be fighting at this big stadium was crazy. I'm walking out there. I'm thinking about everything in the world. I'm like, bro, what if I trip and fall?
Butterflies.
What if on the way up to the ring, something. I'm just thinking everything that could go wrong while I'm on the way to the ring. But then I don't know what it was. Like, I got in the ring, and it was just like,
It's just like it was natural.
Ain't none of that mean nothing. Like, I ain't care about nothing no more. I was like, I'm ready to fight now.
He said, I'm ready to go. You got them butterflies out.
Yeah, no, it's like I won't say they completely disappeared, but like, it was like, I've been in the ring 1,000,000 times before. This is nothing. Just go out there and do what you do.
Let it flow, man. Let it flow. Once you've been doing something for so long, yeah, you get a little tensed up. But once you get in there, you're like, I'm used to this. I got this.
Yeah, no, that's how I really was for that. Like, I got in there and was like, it's nothing.
He was like, he ready to die for it. I'm willing to kill him, and you killed him in 63 seconds.
Yeah, just over a minute. So, that was a unreal experience. It was great experience. I always think about it.
Yeah, that's something that you always your first pro debut. So since we speaking, so we gonna keep it on the area a little bit. What was it like growing up in DC? What part of DC you from? For anybody that don't understand or know.
Oh, I'm from Southeast DC.
Southeast, the South Side. South Side, baby. He's a South Side baby, man. What part of Southeast?
Southeast DC, 57th Street, Southeast. It's cut it half.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, half of us be on the southeast side, and the other half of us be on like the northeast side, like by Marvin Gaye Park. Well, we call it Watts, but technically it's Marvin Gaye Park.
Okay. All right, so you being from Southeast, you being from DC, like I know your pops probably done told you his generation DC is known for they just love boxing, like that's just all them people wanted to box. So how was it for you like coming up in boxing? What got you into boxing as a matter of fact? Was it you one of them kids that was always getting into fights around the way, or was it just something that's like, man, there's something about fighting that I just like to do, man, I want to take this right here?
The boxing thing was actually like, it was one of those stumbled across things.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, I played every sport growing up. I was in everything. Played football, basketball, I did everything. But when I was around 7 or 8, like, because I used to be in the gym with my dad because he trained fighters. He fought himself.
Shout out Mr. Bernard, too, man. You put something on, man.
Yeah, no, he used to be in the gym, so like, if I wasn't at no football practice or something, or I wasn't like doing one of my other sports, I just go to the gym because it was like, why not? It's something to do. And one day I told my dad, I was like, I want to be a boxer. He was like, whatever. But I'm serious, so I started coming to the gym with him more often. Like I'm in the gym with him every day type shit, and I'm developing, like I'm learning. Like he ain't really paying me no attention, but like I always been a visual learner.
Right.
Like if I see it enough, I'ma pick up on it. So I'm seeing guys around the gym do stuff, and I'm starting to do what they do, and I think he's starting to peep like, or he might want to do this for real. And so he was like, all right, I'm gonna let you fight. I'm gonna let you do it. So my 8th birthday come around, I'm like, all right, bet. I'm 8. I can fight now. So I give me a fight. First fight, I get a stoppage. I'm like, yeah, nah.
This is me.
I'm nice.
He said, I'm nice. This is
That's
me.
how I immediately said, like, I'm nice.
Yeah.
And, like, in my mind, I was like, man, how I'm about to tell him I'm not playing nothing else. I was like, I'm not about to do nothing else. I'm just boxing. And so I kept all my other sports around for, like, all the way up till I was, like, 12, 13. But, like, during that time between the age of 8 and, like, my early teens, sports started to slowly drop off. Like, I dropped basketball. Then I dropped soccer. I played lacrosse.
You just wanted to box. He said,
I played lacrosse for, like, 1 year. Dropped that.
He said, I just want to put the gloves on.
And then, like, by, like, the end of middle school, beginning of high school, I was like, bro, like, I'm not doing nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, I basically was telling my dad, I was like, bro, like, if we being realistic, like, compared to boxing, like, I'm trash at all them other sports. I just was trying to find any reason not to do all them other
He said, I'm going to tell Pops, like, listen, I don't know. I can't get into it. But I can get into boxing, though.
He was like, man, shit, you could drop him. Go ahead, do what you want to do. So I dropped them sports and completely locked in on boxing. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. So we see that now, man. So, a lot of people, that's crazy because, like, my son like to box, or he say he want to box. And that's sort of like what you were saying. Like, you got a brother, any brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah. It's a fleet of us.
Oh, yeah. So you got an older brother or something?
I'm the youngest out of all
so you the youngest.
Out of my dad kids, I'm the youngest.
Don't you got a brother named C or something, right?
Yeah.
I figured that you might have got into boxing. So who was winning in them fights at home when you started boxing? You or C, man. You got to keep it real, man. I got to know this.
If we been honest, wasn't really no rumbling popping off for real.
Oh, yeah?
It was. I don't really know how to put it. Wasn't really no rumbling popping off.
Oh, you were saying you were smacking my man C around? That's what you were saying?
No, it ain't even that. It's just, he's doing this thing, I'm doing my thing.
Okay.
It was one of them, don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Hey, I can relate to that, though, right?
Really was just chilling.
I can relate to that, right? Because I got a friend, he like an older brother, man, than me, right? His grandma, I call Granny too, right? And he used to be downstairs in the basement with him all the time, right? I mean, he swear he's a hell of a boxer, but he's a neighborhood boxer. That's all he is. He's undefeated on the neighborhood. He's the Floyd of the neighborhood. That's it. He ain't do nothing past that. So he always used to try to mess with me. So I used to have to rough him up sometimes. His granny, I call Granny. She come down the stairs and be like, Josh, you better stop it. Don't be beating up on my grandson like that. And so I get what you saying, man. Well, sometimes you got to let them know, don't start nothing, won't be nothing, man. I understand that, man. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I can honestly say, like, growing up, like, and being the youngest, you're going to have to scrap a
Yeah, I
little
know.
bit.
Out of all my cousins,
And-
I'm the youngest, so I
And
know.
I could say, like, when I was younger, like, it was fights. Like, you weren't going to play with me. You weren't going to punk me. Get off the game because I feel like getting on. Like, nah, wasn't none of that. But on the same hand, it was like, after a while, we just grew up and just got smart. So it's like, I'm not about to fight you, bro, because my dad ain't believe in breaking up fights in the house.
He just said, I'm going to let y'all go
He
at
said,
it.
I'm going to just let y'all fight, bro. It is what it is. So it's like, I'm like, bro, I'm not about to keep rumbling you because all Bernard kids got pride. You whoop one, he coming back for his fade that same day.
He said,
He just got to get himself together. So it's like, we got smarter over the time. Like, bro, I'm not about to whoop your ass because
Y'all, we going to be fighting
I
all
if I
day.
whoop your ass, you going to come back and fight me again. If I beat you up, you're going to fight me again. You're going to keep coming back until you get your win.
Hey,
then
man.
I'm a want to fight you now. So it's like, to avoid that, bro,
Just go on about your
just
day,
gonna chill.
man.
The
Just
most
go on
we
about
might
your
do
day.
is argue.
Okay.
But we ain't gonna fight 'cause it ain't gonna never end.
That's something I had to see that because your brother, he be coaching, and I be seeing how he is coaching. So I believe exactly everything you say right there because I can see how he be at with some of his young boys. He be like, hey, I ain't going to say their name, but he be like, hey, come here. He be like, that's all right, take a seat. They be getting mad and he be getting at him. So I can believe everything you said word for word on that. That's all right, man. That's definitely all right, though. But, yeah, man, we can talk about the state of boxing. The other day it just got announced that Paramount, who owns Showtime, they dropping their Showtime Sports at the end of the year. If anybody that don't know, Showtime is one of the biggest pay-per-views for boxing since HBO is no longer with pay-per-view. I seen that, John, and it had me in my bag at first. I'm like, why would they do that? Then they started talking. I read more of the article, and it was like, I guess the ratings on it is going down. So I had made a little post on my page going off. I was like, yo, it's because the boxers ain't fighting each other. You got all these great boxers. You got the Jalil Hackett, the Mason brothers. You got the Davis brothers, Keyshawn and Kelvin. You got Ishmael. There's some of the best up-and-comers, and Jared Anderson, big baby out of Texas. Then you got the solidified ones, the Boots, the Earls, the Terrence Crawfords, the Tanks, the Devins, the Shakors, the Caleb Plants. You got it's a hundred of great boxers. So in my head, I'm looking at it like, yo, there shouldn't be no reason why at least every month or at the least every other month a big fight happening with boxing. So I'm like, maybe that's because of that. And I started making a TikTok like, that's because the boxers ain't fighting each other. There's too many people using the bag as an excuse not to want to fight. What's your opinion on the state of boxing? Like, why do you feel like boxers aren't fighting each other right now? Like they should be at least.
I just feel like, honestly, it be out of our control.
Okay.
As far as the fight.
What you mean by out of control? You mean it's the promoters that stopping the fights?
Yeah, it's like if the powers that be want the fight to happen, then it's gonna happen. But if they don't want it to happen, they're gonna make sure it don't happen.
Okay. So you saying it's not really a lot of times the boxers aren't ducking each other or using the bag. It's the promoters who's supposed to promote the fight, that's investing in the fight to make sure the money and the particulars is all right. They over there sitting there slowing up the fights from happening.
Yeah, I just feel like, if you have 100 different fights that people want to be made, and the two fighters want to fight each other most of the time.
Right.
It'll be out of 100 of those fights, 99 out of 100 of them, those dudes want to fight each other. But, it'll be a situation where the powers that be will be like, all right, y'all can fight, but I'm not paying for it. So, like, they'll be fighting for free.
And why you think it's like that? That just threw me for a loop right there. You would think the powers that be would want them to fight because certain fighters, like, I'm going to just throw these names out. I'm not saying y'all ducking each other. I know y'all have y'all little issues, but I'm not saying y'all ducking each other. Like a Devin and a Tank or a Devin and a Shakur. You would think they would want to have that fight happen because those are big name fights.
Yeah, but, certain things are out of the fighter's control.
Right. I feel you on that.
The best way I can put it. So, a situation where we have gotten fights that we wanted, like where we got the Earl and Terrence.
Absolutely.
We waited forever for that.
Hey, man, we waited like 3 years for that.
Yes, we wanted that fight for so long. We waited forever. And we was just happy that we got that one with the Tank and the Ryan joint. We waited forever for that fight. And we was like, yeah, we finally got it. But, like, Yeah, as far as like the fighters, the fighters being scared of each other. I feel like it's really.
So I'm gonna ask you this question then: is you ducking anybody that says your name, or if you feel like you want to fight them, is you ducking them?
Not a damn soul.
You don't duck. He said I
Not
grew
a
up with brothers and
damn
sisters,
soul,
and we
bro.
all fighting.
I can honestly say like real shit. Like anytime, if somebody was to call me out, niggas know me. Like,
He said you
come
know
on,
me.
let's make it happen.
He said he with the money team, so
Look,
if you can't get in contact with him, you can get in contact with somebody from the money team.
I say all the time, like, let's make it happen. Like
Right.
that's always been my mood on anything. And like even if I done seen situations where, like I said, the powers that be don't want to happen.
Stop the fight that
Like,
you
bro,
wanted to see.
If we can't make it happen and you really think you that much better than me, nigga, I'll pull up to your gym and show you.
We spar. Put the
I would
headgear on
show
and
you-
spar.
I would show you not nothing.
Like,
Like,
see,
so it's-
that's that DC coming out of him right there.
So it's like, nah, I do fighters be ducking each other? For the most part, in my opinion, no.
No. All right.
But-
Well, that's good to hear a fighter's opinion because, you know, as much as I love boxing, like I said, I'm the youngest out of all my cousins, first cousins, and even they kids, which I call them my first, because my first cousins is all old enough to be like my uncles and aunts.
Yeah.
So you know how that go. You have cousins that you might have grew up calling them auntie or uncle, even though they're your cousin or whatever. It's just they age. They kids, I'm the youngest too. So I know that it go. I be able to get to a point where you get tired of them picking on you, ready to fight. So I get all that. No, you're not ducking. That just comes in me naturally. Like, I'm not ducking nobody. I don't care who you is. We gonna fight. So I definitely respect that.
Yeah.
I definitely respect that. So what do you feel is the next step as far as boxing? Since Showtime and now sports is going out, what do you think the next step is gonna be for it?
Honestly, they going hard in the streaming.
Okay.
But why not though? You know, you got 100 people with the bootleg cable.
Yeah.
You got 100 more people that's watching it through somebody. And then all the rest of the people, they going to find out the aftermath of the fight. So why not go to the streaming platforms?
Yeah,
that's-
streaming is where it's at. It's like with music.
Yeah, that's the new wave. Like, you know, we was talking before we started, you know, filming. You don't see dudes going in like Best Buy or anything like that to
Nope.
go buy no new rapper CD.
Everything's on here now.
Everything's on the phone. Like for $10.99 a month, you can listen to over 100 million songs by thousands of different artists for $10.99 a month. It
So
don't
why would
matter.
you go spend
So why
$10.99
would I
on a
go
CD?
Spend $10.99 on one album, or why would I go spend 99 cents on one album? Where
Yeah.
you can go on Apple Music and you can get 1 million albums for $10.99.
Absolutely.
So I feel like streaming is definitely going to be the new wave.
So you saying that for anybody that's in the business, you might want to go ahead and invest into some streaming if you want to get into some boxing money.
Yeah, like, you know, that's all. Like, I don't know about you, but all I do is watch like Netflix or YouTube. Those
Right.
are all streaming services. Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, those type
YouTube
things.
TV now.
You don't really see people like on regular cable TV. Like nobody in my household or people that I'm close to, they don't really watch cable TV anymore.
Right.
So it's like streaming is definitely the new wave.
Okay. So, yeah, since we was talking about Showtime and streaming, what's it like? You signed to TMT. That's the money team for anybody you know. He signed to the GOAT, Mr. 50-0, Floyd Mayweather. I know a lot of old heads might come on this joint and say, ho, Floyd 50-0. But my generation, Floyd's the GOAT. You can argue with me, and I'll argue it back with you. But for my generation, I'm 33. And any old head will say, he ain't young, but he's still a young bull. That's his generation. Floyd's the GOAT. Your generation, too. Baby.
Yeah, he's basically, you.
I ain't going to
50-0.
compare his legacy to Muhammad Ali, because what Muhammad Ali did outside of boxing is what puts him on a pedestal with a lot of older dudes. But for us, Floyd is Muhammad Ali as far as for boxing. He's our Muhammad Ali. I seen the end of Mike Tyson, so he's my Mike Tyson. So I got to give him that.
Yeah, like I was saying, man, 50-0, you know, what he be, 30-something world champions?
Yeah, he got the most world
30
champions
former
beat.
world champions, or like, come on now, like, call it how you want it.
You can call it. That's what I said.
And
For my generation, he the GOAT.
They say, man, he ran, he did this and that. Bro, that was on the back end of his career, and it wasn't running. It was beautiful boxing. He was hitting, and he was not
defense.
hit.
For anybody that
and
don't know,
and I say let's not act like in the early part of his career he wasn't putting shit to bed.
he was definitely.
Because he definitely was.
If for anybody don't know, YouTube, since we were just talking about it, you can go pull up some of Floyd's old fights on YouTube.
We could go pull up. You can go pull up Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was putting them to rest. He was retiring dudes. He was beating dudes that we thought was unbeatable. So
he was putting them down. So my question is this then. How does it feel being signed to him, man? Like, we seen clips on Instagram and YouTube and all these other social media sites, Floyd stamping you. So how does that feel, man? Our GOAT stamping you.
You know,
like, it was one thing for the biggest fighter in our area, and then it's another thing for Tank to be one of the hottest fighters out now, but Floyd, the GOAT, stand there right in front of you and stamped you. How'd that feel?
It definitely feels great, you know, for me to, like, those milestones, those steps, like, for him it started off as like, you know, this kid cool. He a cool little tough little kid. And then we go from there to, all right, he so cool, he so tough, I'm going to sign him. And then, you know, he like what he see. He like, I'm going to put him on my card for his pro debut. And then we get to
do what you did for that too. That's crazy.
Then we get to the point where he's really saying like, y'all need to pay attention to this kid because he's going to be something special. Like, you know, that's really like step by step. That's just growth. Because he could have signed me. It could have been a situation where he signed me and that was just that.
Yeah, like it's like a label almost.
And then it's just like I went off into the wayside, you know, because I've seen a lot of situations where dudes start off hot or like they have one little situation that happened with them and that's just it. They just fizzle out.
Yeah.
For me to have him stamp me and I'm still improving, I'm still getting better,
That's the motive with everything, though, not just boxing. That's whether you work a job, whether it's being a parent, whether it's whatever. You want to every day take steps to get better in life. You don't ever want to be the same man or woman you was yesterday when you woke up. You want to be a better individual. And then especially in your field with boxing, you definitely want to get better because as your fights go up, you start fighting better competition.
No, for real. And I always tell people, like, some people think, oh, just because they stagnant, they fine. They say, oh, I didn't go down. I didn't get worse. I say, but in all actuality,
you did.
You did because you got to think it's people that's under you that's getting better every day.
And they hungrier for what you got.
It's people that's ahead of you they're still getting better. So at some point, if you stagnant and the people under you getting better and the people that's over top you getting better, you are technically going behind. You know, you're falling behind of, you know, the people around you, your peers or the people that you look up to.
This is a saying I say, and I tell my son this whenever we be doing stuff. I'll be like, for just as good as you are, whether it's at video games, school, sports, talking, whatever it is, and you might have two friends. That friend right here might be cool with just being stagnant with you, but the other homie you got on your left, he might be hungrier to have what you have. Like, man, he good at this. He good. I need to get just as good and get better at him. Sort of like the Kobe MJ thing. Kobe loved MJ. He loved him, and Kobe, rest his soul, he always said, I don't like to compare. Don't say that. If it wouldn't be me without MJ. But you could tell just watching the Kobe play, everything he learned from Jordan, he wanted to be better at that than Jordan. He tried it. He gonna give Jordan his respect because that's who his mentor was, but he wanted to be better than Jordan.
We was literally just talking about this yesterday.
Like, that's the thing about it in life. It's sort of like me with this podcasting. Every day I'm trying to figure out ways like, what can I say to get better? But at the same time, still be factual and true to myself because I want to be better. I want to be able to say, yo, I'm up there with my old heads, Gilly and Wallow. I want to be able to say I'm up there with Nori and Drink Tramps. But at the same time, for sports and community, I got to know, all right, don't get stagnant. All right, you did good this time, but what can you do to be better? What information can I gain or what tactics can I use when I'm interviewing or whatever to get better? So that's real game you just said when you said someone says, well, I didn't get worse. I might not have got better, but I didn't get worse. And technically you did because you didn't get better at your craft. So that's some real game you just said right there. Yeah. So we will switch it up real quick, man. I noticed I follow you on IG. For anybody that don't know, it's Jalil Hackett on IG. And you posted a couple posts where you talked about mental health. And I know in one of your fights you had the shirt talking about where it's okay to not be okay. When like people ask you, are you okay? When really you're down inside and you just like, I'm okay. So what's your thoughts on mental health that makes you promote mental health as much as you do?
It's very, very, very overlooked.
Absolutely.
You know,
especially in our community.
Man, like you can read my mind. Very overlooked, you know, and not only in the black community, but in modern day, not only America, but our modern day world. Like, we just overlook it. And back to our community, growing up, we were always told, like, you know,
make you look weak if you if you vent to somebody.
You going through it. Life is hard. They just tell you life is hard. Get over it. Suck it up. Or like as a man, you know.
You a man. You ain't supposed to show feelings.
You a man. Like, why you crying? Why you down? What you sad for? Like, nah. Like, you really. Every human on this earth got feelings. Every human on this earth has emotions.
That's real that you said that, because I be having them type of mental health conversations with my son, because like if anybody don't know, I went away for a little bit. And I could tell the effects that it has on both of my kids. One just turned 11. The other one's 9. 2 little boys, and I got a little girl. And you could tell just certain things with them. They'll always say, I'm okay. I'm okay, Dad. I'm okay. And I look at them, I'll be like, nah, you're not okay. And I think a lot of times what even is showing in the youth that we're not taking mental health seriously until it happens, where a situation like the school shootings, where we have all these different school shootings or these mall shootings or suicide, or people like you can hear it in certain rappers' music where they're always venting, like the Lil Durks, the NBA Young Boys, the Rod Waves, where they're always venting. And if you actually pay attention to their lyrics and not just how good it makes you feel bobbing and weaving, you're like, damn, this person got a lot on their mind that's really affecting them. So yeah, it's good that you said that, man, and I really respect you for putting that out there, mental health.
Yeah, nah, it's one of those things I felt like I was obligated to. Like, I got a voice. Like you said, you know, I'm very popular. So it's like if I got a voice and you know, I'm at a point where like what I say hold weight, I'm gonna speak on something real. Like I had a lot of people reach out to me like, bro, like I really like that shirt.
Nah, I did too.
Like I had somebody anonymously reach out to me. I guess they didn't want to put their business out there, but they was like, yeah, nah, that shirt was exactly what I needed. Like that, you know, that hotline. He said, it was like, fuck the message. It was the hotline. I was like, bro, that's strong. Because right. I just was thinking like, bro, like what if they ain't see that shirt that day? They probably wouldn't be here. So I just, you know, I'm thankful that I could touch people's lives other than me as a fighter, but me as just a person.
Right. And I think a lot of times too, now that because you're a fighter and you're an athlete, professional athlete, you got a big name, people will look and say, oh, these people, they ain't got nothing to worry about. They getting money, or they got a lot of money, or they get a fight, they get a bag, everything. So they ain't got no problems. They bills is paid. They kids is be good. They mama, they dad, or they brothers is straight. So what do they got to worry about in life? But I think a lot of times we fail to realize is that when you get more money, you get more problems in life. And I don't know if you starting to experience it yet because your name's out there now. You being from D.C. D.C. is a big city as far as the name, but it's not a big city as far as like Philly and New York. But it's still a big city name, but it's not a big city for real. So a lot of people gonna automatically know you. Like, oh yeah, I know young boy. He from down on the south side. Yeah, I know him. I know his brother. All that. I remember when he was a shorty. When he was yeah. So I don't know if you get a lot of people that's already wanting to ask you for favors. Or yo, you do this for me. Or yo, you do that. You be like, yeah, I got you. They ask you again. Yeah, I got you. You ask me again. Nah, I can't do it right now, man. I'm tied up. All right, cool. Hey, yo, Jalil, I can't do it, man. I don't have it. No. And they be like, oh, forget you this or that. And then I know that sometimes because you young, so you probably be feeling bad like, damn, man, I remember I ain't had this, or I couldn't afford to get this, or my pops was working hard so me and them could have this, so I didn't have that either. So I know you sometimes will feel bad, but at the same time, you can't help everybody. And I know sometimes that'll mess with you mentally because you'll feel bad riding through D.C. like, damn, man, I just wish I could help somebody. I wish I could help that person, but we can't. And that goes into mental health a lot of times, too, people that have caring hearts. Like, I got a caring heart. I got a lot of family members out in Philly, some in D.C. that I wish I could help. I know I can't. Hopefully, I get into a position where I can. But I know once I get there, I'm not going to be able to help everybody. So, you know, I really respect that talk that you had, putting that mental health hotline out there and all that, man. That's real. That's real, man.
Definitely. That's all I can be. Like, my dad always raised me and my brothers, all of us, off morals and principles. Like, so.
Shout out Mr. Bernard. I ain't want to cut you off, but I want to say that, man. I love how you keep shouting your pops out, because there's this like bad thing in the media where it goes around saying that black fathers ain't present or they're not around, and the ones that is around, they chasing clout off their sons or daughters that have a name with athletics or music or anything. So shout out Mr. Bernard for that, man.
My dad, I feel like when it comes to, like, I guess clout, he ain't never really been like one of those. Like, he the one behind the camera. Like, he want to take the picture.
Okay, he want to do the dirty work. He want to do the dirty work.
He don't want to be like.
Nah. Matter of fact, we gonna do that. Mr. Bernard, come here, man. We gotta put pops on camera to sit with his son. He won't come. Oh, he cared. See, it's the first time I ain't been able to get someone to talk and bust it up with me, man. I feel like, damn, I got a weakness now. He exposed it.
Real shit. Like, I remember my pro debut. So after I get the knockout, like, we taking a picture in the ring, like a real live cameraman. Like, I'm gonna take the picture. And my dad, like, I'm going to take it. I got it. We like, nah, you got to get in the picture. He like, I had to beg this man to get in the picture. So it was like, yeah, nah, he ain't never been one of those.
I like that. I love that, man, because like I said, man, it's like a bad stigma amongst African-American males. And for real, not even just race. It's a bad thing amongst males, period, where it's just, they not good fathers or we not around. Or if they are around and they know their kid got some type of ability, athletic or music-wise, they want to chase clout off them. Like, I didn't like that for real when the whole thing was coming around with LeVar Ball. Yeah, Mr. Ball was doing he was drawing. I ain't going to say Mr. Ball was like the perfect, but I loved it, the fact that he was always supporting his son. If you sat there and watched any of his interviews with Stephen A. on ESPN, on Fox, on the internet, he always said, my sons are going to be the best. My sons are going to be the best.
Nobody said about LeVar Ball. Like, everything was, mine is better than yours.
And that's all you can ask is support. And like, even when Lonzo and LaMelo and them messed up, he still said, mine's is still better than yours. I still bet the house on them.
Yeah, so it's like, that's how, I feel like that's a lot of how, like, my dad is. Like,
that's good, man.
He really, like, no matter what, like, he gonna bet the house.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
He'll have you, like, the way he'll talk about you will have you really feeling like you can run through a brick wall.
So you saying your pops might be the, what was his name what was the old school promoter boxer name with the gray hair, crazy hair? That's what Don King, my man. Yeah, they're saying your pops is Don King.
So like,
we're going to call him Don Bernard then.
There'll be times where, like, I hear him through, like, talking to me, talking about me to people, and he'll be saying this, that, and the third, and I really be right there, like, yeah, like, I'm really everything he's saying times 10.
He got you all feeling good.
He'll really have you really ready to do whatever, and I love him for that. And,
got you, man.
The one thing he do that I don't see a lot of other people do is he makes sure you don't never believe your own hype. I always.
That's the thing about it. He makes sure you don't get too big headed.
Like, he'll hype me up, but I never believe my own hype. Like, I always look at, like, when I fight, I watch the fight first few times. Like, damn, I caught that nigga. I got him. Like, after the first few fights or after the first few times I watch it, he always say, now watch it as if you preparing yourself to fight yourself. And I watch and I'm looking. I'm like, all right, I could have got caught with that. I could have got caught with this.
He basically telling you, look in the mirror and know it's you versus you.
Like, I'm really watching, like, damn, I could have got caught with so much stuff.
Because when you went back and reviewed the tape.
I always look, and, like, when people ask me about my fights, I always tell them, like, it was cool. It was cool. I could have did way better, but it was cool. Because it's like, you always give yourself that room for improvement. And a lot of guys, I see them, they fight, and I did this. They get asked, what you feel you could work on? And
they get the stuttering, or they get the feeling too so.
They say some dumb shit like, man, ain't nothing I could work on. That was a perfect performance.
See, that's when you know that that's the downfall headed. When you feel like you too big to where someone can tell you something, over. That's your downfall. It's like this, right? If I get too big, the same people that been giving me advice that pushed me and said, man, you know sports, man, and you get passionate talking about it. You need to do this. Them the same people I'm gonna listen to once I get bigger. I know it's easy to say now, but I'm dead serious. I'm gonna still listen to them. If my same cousins that I always talk to, they always text me, grinding me up. I don't care how big I get. It's not gonna be no, man, I ain't little cousin no more. You can't talk. No, you gotta be the same person that gave you that game. You gotta be able to take that game once you get the fame of the big name.
And that's what I always say. Like, I feel like as far as like your inner circle, that should never really change
At all.
That inner circle should
That's
never
what, like
change.
I said, people's downfall comes in because they start changing their circle.
And I tell people, like, everybody know, like, I have friends, I have associates, like, we're cool. But my inner circle is the people that I lived in the house with my whole life.
Absolutely.
It's them. Like, I got brothers that I'm just cool with. I'm cordial with you because you my brother. We got the same dad. You know, we cool. But it's just that. But, like, as far as, like, the main core, me, C, my brother Rob.
Shout out Rob.
My mom, my dad. Like, bro, them the people that was there from the start. Like, I tell people, I'm like, bro, I could never, like, I get to a certain point, my brother going to be right there with me, or he going to be right behind me. Like, oh, he on the way up, too.
Every fight.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, that's where we come from.
Family first.
I know it's plenty of rappers in the city, plenty of rappers all over. There's big name rappers. Yeah, let me walk. I can't do it, bro. Like, my brother make all my music. Y'all could do a song together, and y'all could both walk me out. But like, I can't just walk out to your shit. And niggas, they respect it. They be like, bro, that's solid. I be like, bro, I can't do him like that. He a rapper too.
Yeah.
He a rapper, and he better than a lot of y'all.
So since we talking about your brother as a rapper, just let the people know who is he, man. You got to promote him now. You talking about how much you love him. Promote him, man.
Hey, I look at my brother. I be telling people nowadays, I be like, man, that's my artist, man. That's my artist, man. Make sure y'all tap into my artist. He got a tape dropping soon.
What's it called? We got to know this. I got to know this, man.
Hey, man.
I got too much. Listen, let me take something down. I got too much love for DC, Slim. We got talking DMV language now.
I can't put his tape name out yet because he ain't put his.
All right, so what's his name?
My brother Rob, you know, he's known. His rap name is Robbie Rob.
Oh, that's boy you sent me the song about. I listened to that joint. I said I know why Jalil like listening to him. This sound like something that a boxer come out to, or you get ready to go to war on a football field about. He nice, man. I ain't just saying that because the man sitting in front of me either. He
be
nice.
In his bag. He really be in his bag. And for all the artists out there, all the rappers, or you know, whatever you do, if you in the game, we just gonna put out there. My brother got his own studio. He rap. He produce. And, you know, he engineer, so it's like, you know, he do it all. So
he do it all. Respect the hustle.
I respect it. Like, ain't nothing. When you put him in that studio, it's nothing he can't do. If you need him to drop a verse, he could do that. If you need him to mix your music, he can do that. He do everything. So it's like, when I get to a certain point, he's going to be at that certain point,
Absolutely.
too.
That's loyalty.
No way.
Oh, yo, I'm going to go ahead and say that. I don't want to cut him off. I'm going to say that, hey, Robbie Rob, I'm going to need you on the show one time, too. I can't have your brother promoting you, and my people's at PearlHouse going to be like, I got to talk to them, man. We got to promote him or something, man. You coming up out of the DMV. There's a lot of talent in the DMV. And much as I love Philly, that's the roots. That's where I was brought up. DMV, that's how my saying is. Philly bred me, DMV raised me. Robbie Rob, we going to need to have a sit down and talk. My man amping you up, so I got to know what's up with the what's up, young boy.
My man's really certified, and you know, most people be like, man, that's your brother. You gonna talk about your brother like that?
No, I heard
like,
the song.
Respectfully, I'm honest. Like, if my brother was trash, I'd be like, bro, you trash, bro. Like, you need to do something.
Find
else.
a different career path.
But like, he really nice. Like, I remember when my brother was just a rapper. I was like, yeah, you got it. Like, you really coming up. But then he started producing. When he first started producing, I was like, bro, don't put none of that shit out. That shit is garbage. Like, I say that shit is straight garbage.
You say he was a neighborhood rapper, basically.
Bro, I'm talking, like, when he first started, like, making beats and stuff, I was like, bro, this shit horrible, bro. Like, don't show this to nobody. Don't tell nobody nothing. You going to have people coming up to me laughing like, yo, your brother is drawing. Let him know, like, bro, you rap. That's it. But then, like, he really started to get good, like, now it's like, bro, you rap and you produce, bro. You on that. Then he started engineering. He first started engineering. I'm like, stay down till you come up. Like, I'm telling him, like, yeah,
you seen the potential, but it wasn't there.
Don't let nobody know you doing this until you nice at it, or at least good enough to where you respectable. And then he got good at that too. I was like, bro, now you the whole shebang, bro. Like somebody can really come to you and knock everything out in one swing. Most dudes, they produce but don't engineer.
Yeah, they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's dudes that engineer but don't produce.
It's like with the photography and videography. Yeah. A lot of people know how to take pictures, but they can't record videos.
Yeah, dudes that take pictures but can't do video.
It'll throw you off because you be like, you should know how to do both. Otherwise, you can't get no money because the money you gonna have to spend to be like, dang, I got this client, but I can't do this. Now I got to spend money with this person so they could do it for me. So, yeah, that's a good thing that you told your brother, man. Stay down till you come up and learn everything about it so you can do it.
He had a point where he really got it now.
Okay.
He really.
So, since we speaking on rappers, man, shout out Robbie Rob. Who's some artists outside of your brother that you like listening to, whether they undersigned, whether they not signed, or whether they are signed but still up and coming, or whether they already big names like the Babies, the Dirks, the Young Boys? Who's some rappers you like listening to in your camp or that you like to get yourself when you go on your Monday morning jog?
Honestly, and that's we're gonna get to that. But when it come to like rappers in the city,
let's start off in the city first, then we'll go national. But you gotta start off in the city.
In the city, I really, for the most part, I listen to the whole city for real. Cause this is thing. Like,
see, that's the thing, man. The DMV, you got the biggest fight in the DMV. He's saying he listened to all y'all.
It's this thing where like somebody was like, bro, all DC rappers or all DMV rappers. I don't really do the whole DMV thing. I tell people like that DMV thing is cool, but I'm from DC.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
From DC.
Hey, now y'all can't argue me no more, man. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, yo, I'm from Virginia or I'm from Maryland.
Yeah,
I can't say Maryland, or I'm from DC.
I be like, bro,
the DMV is just the acronym for out of towners.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I always consider the DMV as like, if I cannot get to your place of residence via train or bus, you're not from the DMV. But, like, for me personally, I don't do the whole DMV thing. I just be like, I'm from D.C.
Putting on for the city.
Yeah, I'm putting on for my city. But as far as, like, rappers in the area and stuff, I really listen to all of them because they say, like, we all sound the same.
Hey, I was just going to say that,
man.
They
all got they little pizzazz that they put on it that make them sound a little bit different. So it's like, yeah, as far as the area, I listen to the whole area. Shout out my neighborhood. We got, of course, my brother. We got 3 Commas, Low Plaga, the whole Motion Gang, all that.
You listen to KP?
Yeah, KP, he be cranking.
Okay, KP shout out Skywalker.
Yeah, KB be cranking. Shout out Gracie too, his mans. I really listen to the whole city though. As far as like bigger name artists, I know my go-to recently been V's
from Detroit. Shout out to the D. What up though? Shout out to them. Detroit got himself a little buzz going too.
And it's slowly but surely growing.
And if you listen to it, you got rappers from Philly like my young boy OT7 Quani. He from Philly, but he sound like he from Detroit. Yeah. That Detroit flow is starting to catch a little wave.
I had just tapped in with him. Like I was listening to him for probably like a year, but he had tapped in and was like, yeah, no, you solid. Woo-doo, woo-doo. I was like, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I was trying to tell people for so long, like V's when he first came out, like 2019, 2020. I was like, bro, he hard. Wasn't nobody fucking with him. But I'm like, bro, he hard. You just gotta listen to him, and he really be saying some shit. But I fuck with V's, Babyface Ray, Rollo, Baby. Them really the go-tos. You got ESTG.
He hard. ESTG, my man. That's my guy.
That's really like that's my get my bag music right there.
Okay, that's that get you ready to you willing to die for it. I'm willing to kill you, Slim. That's his motto. That ain't my motto. I ain't just giving him that moniker. He got it himself.
Hey, man.
Y'all, he had 3 fights already this year. Ain't none of them go past the 3rd round, right?
Yeah, no. I went to the 3rd round in April.
Okay.
In April. I felt like I could have got him earlier, but I didn't want to rush it.
Okay. Never rush the process. Just trust it.
And I always tell people, this is just my personal opinion as a fighter, anybody who gets knocked out in the 1st round, like I feel like you got lucky. Like
what you mean by you got lucky? You don't think skills came in that?
Myself have had 1st round knockouts, but I just feel like the dude just got caught with a shot.
That put him out. That chin to that head take a hit.
Yeah, he just got caught with a good shot. I don't feel like you can really like dissect a guy in 1 round. It's some guys that's so low where like, all right, I got him the first 10 seconds. But, like, for the most part, once you start to climb that ladder and guys get better and better, if you knock a dude out in the first round, you just caught him with a good shot.
Yeah. That happens, though. That's fighting in general, not just boxing. That's even neighborhood fighting. You could be the best fighter in the hood. You get caught with that hit, you get clocked. You get hit in that chin or that side of that head, I don't care how strong you is. You going down.
You going down.
But anyways, let's go there. Since you was just talking about, we want to get into that, man. What's your training resume like? You know, how do you go through it, like, from the camp stages to the just where we developing some fights, but right now I'm just training, getting myself all the way together. How do you go through all that?
It's really relaxed, for real. If we ain't got no fight coming up, I'm in the gym 5 days a week. I don't train on weekends.
Okay.
When I'm not getting
I
prepared.
got a lucky one then, baby.
Yeah, no, I don't train on weekends when I'm not getting prepared for a fight. But Monday through Friday, I'm in the gym. I'm big on being in shape as far as like your conditioning.
Running wise, all that.
Even when I'm not getting ready for a fight, I'm running. I'm getting my miles in. I'm getting at least 6 a day when I ain't getting ready for no fight. And you know, when it's time, like when we got a fight date, then it's like, you know, I'm still doing the same thing I do weekly. Just, you know, we focus on eating a little bit more healthier.
Got you. What's some of the foods you like to eat?
When I'm in camp, or
well, we're gonna start off in camp. We're gonna talk about the outside of camp. What's that? What's some of the foods you eat when you in camp?
When I'm in camp, I feel like I get the best results out of my body when I go green base, with, you know, doing a lot of, like, as far as the protein, doing a lot of like baked chicken or doing like a baked fish or something like that. The smoothies be real nice.
Smoothies, I love the smoothies. What's your favorite smoothie?
My go-to joint, like, I could really have this smoothie like in a nice size cup and won't need no food. I do a mango pineapple.
I had you with the mango. See, I like the mango berries, not the mango pineapple joint.
I do this joint. I do like a mango pineapple with coconut water and apple juice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh my God, it go crazy. And I'm big on like doing it like with real organic fruit, not no fruit that come out no can or nothing like that. Okay. So I feel like that brings out the sweetness in it. I feel like that really bring out the sweetness, and it's a little bit more healthier.
Right.
And also, I don't know about you how you do yours, but I don't do yogurt in my.
You don't like yogurt? I'm a bigger oatmeal guy than yogurt.
I feel like the yogurt make them so thick. Like I like the smoothie to be smooth.
Okay.
Almost like one of those, you know, like a cold pressed juice.
Okay, cold press. That's cool. So what you like to do when you're not getting ready for a fight? What's the cheat food? When I ain't getting ready for no fight, I can honestly say, like, I'm a borderline food critic. Like, I really, like, if somebody tell me about a restaurant, I'm going to be like, let's go try it. Well, I got a restaurant after you explain your food that you might want to go out and try, man. They got some good food.
Like me and my girl, we really, she is a picky motherfucker. Oh my God. I
didn't make him say that too, man. So I don't want no DMs about why you got Jalil saying this and that about me.
Look, so like if we go somewhere and I'll read the menu, and if the name sounds interesting, I'm not even looking at the ingredients because I'm not allergic to anything.
Yeah, me either.
So like I'm not even looking at the ingredients. Well, nowadays I kind of do a little bit because
boxing got to stay right.
No, it ain't even that. It's just certain stuff I stay away from. Like, I don't know. I've been cool off of like tomatoes and stuff.
Tomatoes?
Surprisingly, I don't know. I ain't been really messing with tomatoes.
That's the first. I ain't heard that.
Tomatoes in it, I won't really mess with it. But unless it sounds too good, then I get it. But yeah, no, I'll be like, yeah, that sounds interesting. I'm gonna try that. Or if I'm at a restaurant, I'll ask them like, what's y'all go to here? Like, what's the best dish? I ask the waiter that, and they'll tell me, and I'll be like, all right, let me get that. But my girl, man, shit, if I ain't never heard of it, I ain't eating it.
Yeah, she making sure she know what she got.
Man, nah, because I ain't about to take one bite of this and be like, it's nasty.
I got you. So I'm going to ask you this, man. You big on, like, Middle Eastern food? Like, you like the kebabs and all that?
I try.
He said, well, this is a restaurant. It's actually around here where we at in VA. It's called Charga Grill, man. They got some good chicken, good kebabs. You check them out, man. I promise you ain't going to be disappointed. You going to hit me up and be like, yo, Smitty, you was right. You was right, Slim. This that shit right here, man.
Yeah, no.
Shout out my man, but shout out A Boogie aside, man. Charga Grill, man.
Yeah, no, I definitely tap in with them after this fight.
Okay.
Man. Definitely tap in and see what they hitting on.
Oh, yeah, so since we get back to the whole fighting thing, the fight, December 1st, right?
Yeah.
December 1st, man. You know, that's about a month away.
Yeah, we almost locked in. Like, we 99.9% locked in.
We just need that 0.01% to make sure we at full status.
You know, if you're a fighter, you know how it be, you know, as far as paperwork and everything. Yeah, no, you're a fighter, you know how it is as far as, you know, you got to make sure that paperwork finalized, make sure the numbers right, everything.
Let's get them numbers right. Get my man paid.
And I always tell anybody, athlete or you just in business, bro, read the fine print. Read between the lines. Make sure you get that thing looked at not only by yourself but by, you know, a financial advisor, a lawyer. You know, make sure you got eyes on that contract so you know everything that's being said.
Absolutely, because you could think you a boss, but if your name not on that paperwork, you a worker.
Man, facts.
So, yeah, I definitely agree. Let's hope that, man, you know, December 1st, that fight come up, be your 8th fight. Hopefully we get a 7th knockout on that record, man.
No, definitely.
You know I'm supporting with you. You know I'm riding out with you, man. You just showed me too much love. I hit you up. We had a little mishap, but, you know, my man called me right up like, yo, Smitty, my bad. I didn't, this happened. We getting this out of, we getting this out the way.
I had to make sure because, you know, like I said, I'm a man of my word, bro. Like, when we have missed the first one, we were supposed to do it. I was like, man, shit, we gotta get this done. Yeah. So I'm like, we gotta figure out, you know, what the fuck we gonna do.
Damn right, man. Because you know one thing about it, man. Like I said, and I ain't just saying that because you here. You is one of my favorite young boxers. I remember the first fight I watched you fight, and that was that fight actually where you knocked the bull out. I didn't see it live. I got to run it back on YouTube, and I was like, oh. So I hit one of my old heads up. He from down southeast too, and he's like, yeah, that's my youngin', man. He nice. You need to check him out. So I started watching more of your fights, and I'm like, oh, I really like him. You know, I like to watch up-and-coming boxers. See how they going, man. So, you know, now you one of my favorite boxers, and, you know, I'm always going to stay tuned into you. I got a couple of boxers. But before we get out of here, I need to know this. I got to hear this. You know, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, they got some good fighters, man. Who's the best fighter out of this area? Takeaways, Tank, because we know Tank's up there. Takeaways, Tank. Who's the best fighter in this area, man?
Right now or all the time?
Right now.
Right now, if we take away Tank, of course I'm saying myself.
Okay, so you know there's some good fighters in this area now.
No, we got
Virginia got what? Keyshawn Davis and Kelvin Davis. DC got you, Scooter.
We got a plethora of
Maryland got what's his name? Gary Russell. Yeah.
If we being real, we have a very, very talented area. And, you know, of course you're saying the DMV, but I always consider it like the D.C. and right outside of D.C., the Maryland area. We have a very talented area.
Absolutely.
I just think about it. At one point, was it like the mid or late 90s, we had 5 world champions out of D.C. So it's like, it's talent here.
It's talent.
Yeah, no. Hey, no, I definitely, it's talent in Virginia, too.
They say they feel a certain way.
Yeah, I'm like he said, bro, it's talent in Virginia, you know. You got Keyshawn, you got him and his brother.
Is you and Keyshawn in the same weight class? Or
no,
you and Kelvin?
He's at 35.
He's at 35. You in the 147
but
range.
You got the Davis brothers. You got Keyshawn and Kelvin. You got their youngest brother, Keon.
Dude, he's an amateur still right now, but I think he's about to go pro.
He's about to make a run for the Olympics. And anybody who's been around boxing as far as the amateur scene, they know like Keon a bad boy. And so, you know, it's talent in our area. You know, they just got to develop.
Absolutely. Got to develop, man. We got to get y'all to stop overlooking it, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I know you got the Callies. We got all the big names that people want to do, but you got to come down here, support them, man.
If we being real, I don't think it's a situation of the talent being overlooked because it's definitely on notice. But it's young talent right now. It's young talent.
People like them more established, yeah.
Like, you from Philly. You remember when Philly had all them, you know, nice young dudes, and they was just young and inexperienced. So it's like they was cool, but they just need time to develop. Now look at Philly.
You got the Ishmaels, the Boots, the J-Rocks. You got a whole...
They flourishing now.
And that's what you got to do down here, man. I understand that promoters, y'all like the people that's established because it's the bag. I want my boxers to get paid the same I want my NFL players to get paid. But y'all got to understand, sometimes when you look at them when you young, you'll be like, oh, this might be the young boy that might take us right here. Let me go mess with him while he's 20, 21, 22. But what you got to say before we get up out of here, Jalil, man? Well, I need to hear something. Give the people some word of advice, man. Let them know a little bit, man.
We before we get up out of here, my biggest thing, first I want to thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. I thank you for coming on.
And I could when you hit a million subscribers, I'd be like, shit, I was the first guest on. So, I'm speaking it.
And when I hit that million, he gonna be right back on, so we can have an anniversary.
So we can run it back. We can run it back. Yeah, I just want to, thank you for having me. Thank my team for getting me in the position that I'm in. To everybody that want to keep up with me, you can keep up with me on Instagram at Jalil_Hackett, Twitter Jalil Major HCKTT. And like we talked about earlier, we damn near locked in for December 1st in Houston. So
see you when he get there.
I see y'all when I see y'all.
We out of here.
Wait, I want to do one more thing for me. I got for you you can leave one piece of information for the world. What would it be?
That's his question he asked.
All right. You still rolling? All right. If I could leave one piece of information.
Like your legacy behind you, like what can you give him? That's what he means.
Oh, okay, I see what he's saying. Man, Jalil as the boxer, he's willing to fight whoever. When I'm done with my career, they'll say he fought the best, he gave us the best fights. And Jalil as the person, they're gonna know for sure, like Jalil was a great man. He stood up for not only himself but his whole community, and he did right by everyone.
Looking in the mirror, my origin and inspiration. Run amongst the wolves with minimum concentration. On the road to self-discovery, pending the destination. While pushing my poems together to speak to the delegation. Hard to see your status quos, I leisurely breeze by. Easy to state the principles, harder to live by. I know. He see your alert potential, and homie gon' steal spider. While he searching for a father and niggas that's just like him. A revolving cycle turning as sure as the world spinning. No, I can't buy.